Trenton 365 with Jacque Howard. Profiling the businesses, organizations, and people that make Trenton better.
Hello, friend, and welcome to the Trenton 365 Show. I'm your host, Jacque Howard. You can send me an email, trenton365show@gmail.com. You're listening over WIMG 1300, New Jersey's oldest radio station, and not only the Stellar Award-winning station, but I'm holding another award that we've recently won, and it is the Praise Factor People's Choice Award Season 11 Terrestrial Station of the Year. So congratulations to everyone here at WIMG, and those of you who are watching over WPHY Channel 25 in Mercer County, New Jersey, you get an opportunity to actually see this beautiful award that we've won. So I'm going to have that set up here so later on everyone can check that out. You can follow WIMG 1300 on all social media platforms, WIMG 1300. The Trenton 365 Show has a Facebook page. You can also follow my efforts on Instagram and Twitter at Trenton 365. So in the studio with me tonight in the first half of the program, I have Mora, who's going to be talking about Latin American Legal Defense Education Fund, also known as LALDEF. The website is LALD as in Delta, EF.org, LALDEF.org, and there you can find out all the details about the organization, what they're doing throughout Mercer County, New Jersey regarding Spanish speaking and other programs. And those of you who are say, well, it's about just Hispanic or Latino Hispanic, no. Sit tight and listen to all this wonderful information that Laura's going to be getting out to you. And I encourage you again to go to their website, LALDEF.org, LALDEF.org. So Laura, welcome to the Trenton 365 Show.
Oh, good evening, Jacque. Thank you for this invitation. We really appreciate this invitation and inform the community. That's why LALDEF is being built to help our immigrant people and inform to the community our services, even though not only our services help people with services around the town.
Mm-hmm. And you are so welcome for the invitation. And I just want to give a little background information about my relationship with LALDEF. Several of the board members, current and in the past, are friends of mine. So a big shout out to Karen Hernandez Granson, also the founder of the organization, Maria Trega. Huega. My Spanish is horrible. Maria Huega. And we call her Charo, right?
Yes.
Okay. And also to, they've partnered with me in the past at the Bethany House of Hospitality for MLK Day social cleanup. And we're looking forward to doing that in the near future as well. So big shout out to the newer executive director, Adriana, who I was with last week also. So again, thank you to everyone at LALDEF, LALDEF.org is the website. So Laura, let's talk about the different programs or the actual structure of how the organization works.
Well, our services are open to the community, as I told you. We have 5 services in total. It's legal defense, ESL for adult education, community IDs for our people in the community, y programa Futuro. Futuro program is for our young mentoring kids in Trenton. And we have, separate than that, income tax, free income tax each year. We start February and through May, but even the people that are late, we open the months until May, June. We close to do federal income tax, and sometimes we help people with different issues according to the income tax too.
Now you mentioned that there's multiple pillars. Let's start with the adult education portion. I know that there are English classes, etc.
We have English classes, 5 labels. Even we have a conversation right now, and we open now 3 days. Before we only have only 2 days a week. Now I said 3 days, but one more day for conversation. They're open 4 days a week for adult education. It's exactly English as a second language.
Now, most of the communities that you're servicing the Trenton community, and it's not only Spanish-speaking countries that are served through programming at LALDEF. Is that correct?
It's correct. We serve other countries as Haiti people, South African, Asians, but most of the students are Spanish people.
Now, here in Trenton, there are lots of different Spanish-speaking countries that are represented, and sometimes it's been mentioned that the communication between those countries, the different dialects, sometimes cause a problem. Can you just share your thoughts about that?
Yes, exactly. We have an example with Guatemalan people. They come in. Some of them come in with dialects, and sometimes it's really hard to understand their Spanish. Even our teachers, the ESL teachers, most of them speak Spanish too, or and sometimes they have a hard time to communicate with them in Spanish, but little by little they learning and take the classes as something really good. And well, we have a lot of students that even is the English or their language like Spanish a barrier.
Okay.
They learn.
Now, in addition to the English language classes and Spanish literature, is there an equivalent to a diploma or a GED help?
Okay, for the ESL we have a kind of diploma or certified. Now we have a plan or a program to start GED. We are talking with different entities like Mercy Community College to set up how we can help our community. Most of this Latino community or Spanish community, they don't have transportation, and or they don't have the idea where they can go. If we start this program in our community, it will help a lot, because so many of our Latino people, they're really smart people, and we can show that as example with another organization that they started to do it years ago with the community, and they grow and they're helping us. And these days they're gonna have meetings with our ESL director Liana, and they're gonna put the base to start GED. Yes.
Now, what are some of the challenges that the immigrants that LALDEF services, what are some of the challenges that we're seeing here in Trenton and in Mercer County? Language.
Especially language, separate language, health, education, transportation, and lack of information about services around the town. Like I told you, language is a barrier or a challenger for them to start a new life. And most of them, they don't know where to go for services, for health, or to go to court or the city hall. And for them, that is a kind of barrier to think maybe we cannot find somebody to speak Spanish for us. That is really a barrier for them, the language.
Now, would a program like an assimilation program, like if it was offered by the city or by the county or even by neighborhood, would that help to knock down some of those barriers?
Yes, that will help a lot. we don't have a specific place where people can go and say, we have help. No, we really don't have it. People come to our office and says, please, can you help us with health? Please, you help us to do letters, like letters for address. Sometimes they have the papers, the address proof, and they need to somebody to write in English, and we gave that kind of the service and notarized too. Even though they had to prove that they live in certain address, and they need to prove us ID too, and that's another service we do with IDs.
So the programming is literally from basic functionality of being a resident here in America and here in Trenton.
Exactly.
All the way to things that are more complex, like legal services, correct?
Yes. We do legal services to our immigrant people. All services except deportations. But we have information for lawyers. We have a list of lawyers with numbers and address where they can go, or it's another organizations that may can help them with deportation. But for us, it's really expensive to help these kind of situations, and we don't have the funds for. We really would love to help our people, but it's expensive for us because LALDEF, is a non-profit organization, and we live with donations.
Okay. And what's the address of your office here in Trenton?
Now we have a new address, a new building. After 14 years that we are working, the address is 714 and 716 South Clinton, Trenton, New Jersey, 08611. And it's a new building, big 3 floors with more space to serve our community. It's amazing.
Yeah, and if you go to the Trenton 365 page on Instagram, you can actually see some of the images of the office. It's a beautiful historic building. One of the previous owners was Clifford Zink, who is a Trenton historian who also does tours around the city as well. And it is indeed a beautiful 3-story building with a lot of the architecture and historic details are still in there, and it looks wonderful. So we've just got a couple of minutes before we're up on the first break. Over at your location, 714 and 716 South Clinton Avenue in Trenton, what programs are actually offered there?
We offer community IDs. Community IDs is for not only for our immigrant people, Hispanic people, is for those that do not have any ID. In my experience, Jacque, I found those people that are coming from jail, they're coming without any ID, without any paper, only the release paper, and they had to start it again. And for me, it's really tough to see why nothing for them. But community IDs, 2 weeks ago, we got the number 15,000 IDs. We are doing 50,000 IDs.
Now, well, you said 15 or 50?
15.
15,000 IDs, community IDs.
In Trenton.
In Trenton.
Trenton, Princeton, and Hinestown, but most of them are from Trenton.
That's fantastic. All right, we're just about up on a break. I'm speaking with Mora, who is a community organizer with LALDEF, Latin American Legal Defense and Education Fund. The website is LALD as in Delta EF.org, and we'll be back after a short break. You're listening and watching the Trenton 365 show.
It's time to start heart walking to be healthy for good. Join the American Heart Association on Saturday, October 6th for the Central New Jersey Heart Walk at Arm & Hammer Park, home of the Trenton Thunder. Let's create a culture of health and walk to prevent heart disease and stroke, the nation's #1 and #5 killers. Call 609-223-3784 or visit centralnjheartwalk.org for more information. Heart Walk is locally supported by Bristol Myers Squibb, NJM Insurance Group, and RWJ Barnabas Health. WIMG 1300 is a proud media sponsor of the American Heart Association Central New Jersey Heart Walk.
Need a truck to move? Let Justin's Rental of Selman's BP save the day. Justin's has the right trucks for all commercial and residential moves. Justin's has the moving supplies and boxes available. Justin's Rental at Selman's BP has everything you need for your move at affordable prices, featuring the best in pickup trucks, 10 and 15-foot box trucks and vans. Justin's Rental at Selman's BP is located at 2596 South Broad Street, across from the McDonald's in Hamilton. For your rental truck needs, call 609-888-3327. That's 609-888-3327. Justin's Rental at Selman's BP. If you are moving, we have the trucks to meet your moving needs.
Welcome back to the Trenton 365 show. You can send me an email, Trenton365, that's the numbers, show@gmail.com, Trenton365show@gmail.com, and the website is Trenton365.com. So, as always, off camera, off the air, we have some great conversations, and Laura and I were reminiscing a bit back to when we first met. And it's more than 5 years ago when we first met. And I was thinking, because when I was going through some archives, there was several years ago, there was a Guatemalan youngster who was killed in Trenton. And Marina Posa, and I want to give a shout out to Marina, who's a friend as well, who's part of LALDEF, the board there. He said, "Look, I'd like for you to come to this meeting at City Hall." And it was a gathering about violence and talking about some of the issues. And I'd met you there, and I think we actually even did a little video clip that day as well. But you were talking, it was prior to that, at a faith and community gathering event. Can you, if you remember anything about that?
Okay, I remember that I met you at the Trenton High School meeting. And it was, I don't know, more than 50 priests around the town, from church around the town. The mayor, the police director, other organizations around town. It was around 100 people in the Trenton High talking about that issue, about crime in Trenton, and the fight between between students, Africans and white and Latinos, and then the kill of a child. But you know, I always feel very mad with that situation, because remember that we wrote it on tables and big papers. We wrote the situation or the crimes in the city, the solutions that we wanted to do. Somebody roll all the papers and put it somewhere, and never we do nothing. We just wait that the police, that the city people, that the board of education, that the priests started to do something, and that happened 10 years ago. And today, if we do something, if we stay over there and said, no, we wanted to follow this, today maybe we don't suffer the crime that we are suffering in Trenton. But okay, it happened. Well, that's the day I met you. And
and Laura, I want to say, so Laura's a community organizer with LALDEF, and part of what community organizers do is not only come in and identify who the people are involved in a situation, but also provide opportunities and solutions, best practices, so to speak.
Exactly.
And you touched on something that's critical. A lot of times there's lots of meetings and lots of gatherings where you get all these dynamic people together, and very intelligent people, well-meaning people together.
Yes.
Why do you think things don't change? Or like you said, even with that gathering at Trenton High, we had all this information, it was documented, and nothing happened.
Because we, the people that were there, were more interested in do other chores, other things in the city, and forget about this, and follow if the director or the police director or the city or the mayor or the Trenton education, they really wanted to change. If we in that times change education, if we started to do something different today, we're not suffering. And I said, most of the time I said, if I stay there, and I said, no, I wanted to follow what they really have to do it and encourage other people. I remember that it was me. I was Costa Rican Civic Association president, and I get out and continue my life as community services, and I was waiting. But in that times, I didn't have experience. I only had the word to say to the people, please help us. I was asking for help. But I thought that the people that was there that have power, political power or power, can do something for our city. But everything was put maybe in the trash can or in the closet and forget about Trenton.
I'm going to follow up with and ask that question: what happened? And I know that our government has changed. There's now 2 mayors since then.
I know. In that time there was Tony Mack.
Yes.
And until today we can expect nothing from his 4 years over there, or 3 years, because his story, his black past or whatever we can say, or criminal past. But why the other people can follow, can stand up and says, no, we wanted to change it. They don't. And sometimes I feel guilty, because if I fight for that, maybe today we are living different. But never is late. We can start it again and try to fight again. It's another group, try to help our community, and I invited the people too to come to our meetings in the police department in Trenton, in North Clinton. It's every month. Right now I don't have the day for the next meeting, but they're doing every month a meeting with different organizations and people from other organizations, priests, churches, police department, the prosecutor. It's something big that they wanted to try to fight the crime in Trenton. My concern with that is we had to raise our voice. The people that are there raise our voice, not abandon the idea. Because if we abandon the idea, it happened like 10 years ago. Nothing.
So you're saying that it's important for people to be involved in the process.
Exactly.
And for people to speak up.
Exactly.
And share their concerns and their thoughts.
And more people are welcome to come. City people or community people that work involved in anything, or just a city person that wanted to a change in our city, in Trenton, a change of crime, a change of education, special education. We need to change education in Trenton. And talking to the answer to him, but I forget his name. Vont. I only had 2 weeks. I didn't want the community organizer job. I really wanted to give it to somebody that that work. But even for my experience, for that I know my community a lot, most of them, our Latino community, my boss says, please, take the chance to, a challenger to do something bigger for the community. And I was a little afraid. I just started 2 weeks ago, and I'm in training, and I will try to do my best as a community organizer.
I think that you're going to do fine. I've seen you in action on several occasions. I've seen you out in public, talking to people at different events, sharing your thoughts, speaking up and speaking out. So I know that that makes a difference. And so I want to encourage you to continue to do that, and to let you know that if I can help you with anything,
thank you.
Just let me know. And LALDEF has my support as well. But before we finish up, I do want to talk about some of the things that LALDEF may need as an organization, or some of the issues that others can help out with. How can people get involved and help LALDEF with its work?
We need a lot of support, donations. We need voluntary people for all our services, not only for IDs, not only for ESL programs, no, for legal. We need for everything, because we have a community that are in need in many situations. We have domestic violence, we have crime, we have education, we have health. It's so much the information that our community need. And I forgot to tell you one more thing. We had the program Futuro.
Yes.
Yes, and Futuro need a lot of help, mentors. We need mentors for our kids. Futuro is a program for kids in our city, in Trenton, only for Trenton students, junior. And before, Futuro was working every 2 years for 12 young people. Today, for donations and grants, we extended every year. And we are working with these young children, so young people, to encourage for college. Mm-hmm. And it's a lot of information and help for them, and as trips to universities, as trips to different organizations, is so much help for them. And most of our young people today we have so many that were involved in Futuro that already have a career.
That's great. So I just want to make sure I have this correct. So Futuro is the youth. It's a youth program for high school juniors.
See.
Who are Trenton residents. And this is not just Latino Hispanic. They have to be second generation immigrants to Trenton.
Yes.
To Trenton. And currently the program serves Asian communities, African countries, the Caribbean, as well as the Spanish-speaking countries as well.
Exactly.
Great. And people can find out more about all the programming on the website, correct?
Yes, www.LALDEF.org.
All right, so LALDEF, LALD as in Delta, EF.org, and there you can find out all the information. And they can reach out to you directly on the website too, correct?
Yes, or they can come. They're welcome to come. Anyone in the community are welcome to come to 714, 716 South Clinton, Trenton, New Jersey, and our services are all 5 days from 10 o'clock to 4 o'clock. Only on Fridays we are 12 to 7 o'clock with legal defense.
That's amazing. Mora, thank you so much for coming on the show. I want to have you come back as the year progresses, because I know LALDEF has programming throughout the year.
Oh, yes. And before I leave, on the 22nd, this month, September 22nd, we have open house for the community from 1 o'clock to 7 o'clock.
Okay, so on September 22nd from 1 to 7 p.m. is open.
4 o'clock.
I'm sorry, 4 to 7 p.m. it's open house at LALDEF.
For the community. We have games, food, and information about LALDEF.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Laura.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You've been listening and watching the Trenton 365 show. We'll be back after a short break for segment number 2.
Welcome back to the Trenton 365 show. I am your host for the second segment, Vont. If you do not know who I am already, I've been on the program just about a handful of times. I am Jacque's intern, and this evening I have the opportunity to interview Jacque Howard, who you heard for the first segment, and you heard her from time to time on this show and others, Vennie Stansbury. Thank you both for, one, being my guest, two, allowing me to have this opportunity. This is my first time doing this. I'm nervous, so I apologize. When you called me earlier and told me, like, you asked me to do this, I was ready, but, like, I keep telling you, I feel like Like as if like Johnny Carson asked like somebody. I don't know. I don't.
Johnny Carson
asked like somebody like
you that big.
How did I know she was going to have a comment? Well, I'll tell you what. So first of all, Vont, and I'm going to say this again publicly. It's been a pleasure to spend time with you. You are one of those awesome young people that I have a chance to spend time with, who are doing some amazing things.
Thank you.
Very proud of you.
Very much, yeah. I often think back to when I was your age, say 17, 18. I was definitely not as engaged as you are. Right. So it's exciting for me, and it's a pleasure. So thank you for everything that you're doing. I'm looking forward to this year of you being my intern. And in addition to that, I'm sure Vennie is very, very pleased to spend time with you as well.
For like the past, I've been almost 2 months now. I've been like my radio mom and dad.
whoa, because I don't want people to, you know.
I'm kind. No. He do that. He really do want that. That's exactly yes.
You two. So I want to talk about right here. The camaraderie that you two have.
This one?
No, that you both have together. Because I keep hearing that you two need a show together. Like I keep hearing people say that you. Like, they want a Vennie and Jacque show, and I want to know why that hasn't happened, because I don't know if the viewers know how much, like, of a close relationship you guys have. Why not?
Well, because both of us can't be in the same room. Like, you see this head? Like, that head is huge, so we can't always share the same camera.
You both have, and I want you guys to touch on it, a relationship, like, just, you guys have, like, a good relationship. You guys are both... We just had a whole conversation. You guys were just like, they're like comedic banter, and I want to talk about how that came to be, because you've been here longer than him, right?
I've been here 17 years.
How
at WIMJ?
How did that come about?
Actually, I was driving and I heard something that I didn't quite like, and I said, and I've been a person that if you don't like something, do something about it. Mm-hmm. So I said, well, if I don't like what I'm hearing, go on and do something about it. So I applied for a job, and I told Mr. Morris that I was in school at the time at Mercer County Community College. Mm-hmm. Big ups to Mercer County Community College.
The Vikings.
Yes, big ups to them. And Mr. Morris said, let me tell you, if you come aboard, I will teach you so much. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay. And he said, and I'm paying you to teach you. And I was like,
can't
okay,
get better than that.
Right.
Can't get better than that.
Right. It took no time for me to understand that, and I've been here ever since. Loving it. I've been the office manager now for 8 years. I can't believe Maggie must still love me because she has me around. Yes. Don't understand why, but no, for real. It's a great place to work. Is when Maggie took over, one of the things she said to me is, Vennie, I want this to feel like a family. Mm-hmm. I want people to be able to come to work and let their outside world leave them and come here. And even when times are hard for them, when they get here, I want them to feel like they can make it. I want them to feel encouraged. I want the love to be here. And so I was like, okay.
I guess.
Hey, yeah, this what you want from me.
No, but I can say, because I've been coming here every week for the past almost 2 months now. I can definitely say, just with the four of us that be here, four of us that be here, it does feel like welcoming and like a home, like you just forget about like everything else is going on. I really do like that. And the fact that this is a radio station and you're here to like have a conversation, that it plays a big part of it.
Yeah, and I want to go back and just answer what you mentioned to me. When I came on to the program to be interviewed as a representative of the Isles organization, shortly thereafter.
7 years?
It was about that, I guess 7 years ago.
It's been a while.
And Vennie reached out to Reverend Karen Hernandez's grandson, who's the pastor of Westminster Presbyterian Church, who was doing the interviewing of me at that time. And she said, what do you think about being a guest host, once a month or whatever? And I was like, yeah, sure, I don't know what to do, but she said, just be yourself. And I slowly got into it with a lot of help from the producers that were here. Shout out to Steve Cook, DJ Say What, who's over there now, but also Ramona, yes. Lady Essence. Everyone here has just been very helpful with helping me, educating me in radio and TV, because I don't have any background in this. But back to the original point about the camaraderie that we have, not only as an organization, as a radio station, but Vennie and I, our personalities just click. I mean, we just have a lot of fun. It's like the loving. Picking on each other, almost like cousins.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right. Somewhat.
Yeah.
I almost like him.
Oh, whatever. So
almost.
Anyway, the idea of a show is something that I hit her up with many years ago, and she constantly just blows me off. I think it would be great.
I think it would be too. We sat down for 20 minutes before the show, and I was just sitting in on it. I think that'd be a hilarious show. Everybody at home, and Steve, if you agree, we're going to make this happen. Jacque and Vennie, that's going to happen. We're going to make that happen.
Is the world ready for that?
Yeah,
I'm just
the world's ready for it. So, like you mentioned, you didn't plan to do this at all. Like, you didn't know that 7 years, however many years later that you'd be doing this. Now that you're doing it, did you ever think like, oh, this is what I was going to do, and end up liking it and doing it regularly?
No, not at all, man. Literally, I was very happy with what my life was. I was a father, a husband.
Shout out to his wife who stuck around with him for all
I knew
these
that was
years.
coming. Yeah, Vanessa, what's up, babe? I love you.
I
And
just
Maddie, I love you too.
my Vanessa for like 85 years. She's been with him. Amazing. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, thank you.
Go
Thank
back
you.
to being serious.
Yep. So, so I had a very good career. Corporate America. I was doing well. I had some health issues and left, and really, it was a spiritual moment. And it's been a lot of peaks and valleys. Probably more valleys than peaks, but I've learned to walk by faith.
Right.
And because I'm walking by faith, it's where I am now and where I was 6, 7, 8, 10 years ago. They're polar opposites almost. But I believe that what I'm doing is exactly what I should be doing.
Are you happier now?
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry. I took all over you.
Sure did. That's the way she rolls.
Go ahead.
But no, definitely very happy, joyful.
Yes.
And I know that what I'm doing is what I'm supposed to be doing. And it's extremely exciting. It's very fulfilling. I'm learning and I'm growing and I've been stretched. And don't say anything about my height. 'Cause I knew that was coming. See, I had to. But I've been stretched and I'm growing and it's amazing.
You're big in your heart.
You know what?
You have 3 minutes left, but you're big in your heart. Yeah, you are. You're so tall. You're like 8 feet tall in your heart.
Anyway,
that's love. it's all love from her. No, but one of the things that I admire about the both of you individually and then just together, like when you do this, you're so invested in it.
Yes.
Not even just the show. I feel, are like the definition of what a community leader is. Like all the events that you have, because you genuinely love our city.
He's a good intern. You are paying him well. I mean, go ahead.
You were involved in. Well, you were the host of Levitt Amp. You do the skate gym you do every Saturday. What role do you play in Anoken Fitness?
Brand ambassador.
Yeah, so
trying to get that fitness lifestyle up.
Yeah, but you're
poor him. So Nate Cone, I don't know why you did that to us, but go ahead.
You do that, and then that's part of why you did Trent 365, to bring people that are leaders and do things within this city to make the city better and talk about it with them too. That's one of the things I admire most about you and both of you doing this, because this is what I want to do in my life, and I've discussed this with you both plenty of times. I've heard on countless occasions Jacque's like, oh, do you want to interview this person? And it just comes natural like that for you. I don't know how. And because I did what I call my Jacque notes, and I wrote there's a bunch of questions. It just comes natural for you, and I like that, and I aspire to be like that in the future.
We're just spelled up on a break, so why don't you do a closeout for the break, and then we'll come back with that.
You see how you just turned on and took your time.
Go ahead. You're watching the Trenton 365 program. I'm interviewing Vennie Stansbury and Jacque. We'll be right back after a short break.
We've been fighting the war on drugs for a long time. We answer the phone 24/7, 365 days a year. On a busy night, we answer hundreds of calls. This war on drugs needs our intervention.
Since 2014, Addiction Hope and Helpline has helped people struggling with drugs and alcohol.
When the phone rings, we help people when they need it the most. When we get a caller into treatment, it feels good. It's a blessing.
If you're struggling, drinking, using, and need to get clean, don't suffer alone in silence. Call Addiction Hope and Helpline.
Our people understand, and many are also in recovery. Call for support and strength. You can call for someone who can't or isn't willing. It's an act of love. Together we can help you beat this thing and erase addiction from your vocabulary once and for all.
Call 800-763-9166. 800-763-9166. 800-763-9166.
Welcome back to the second half of the second segment here on Trenton 365. I'm your I'm Vont League. I'm interviewing Vennie Stansbury and Jacque Howard. Over the break, Vennie started to talk about her upcoming into how she's doing this and how they were complimenting me, saying I'm doing such a fabulous job. But you were telling me about you were doing this at Mercer and how it just became natural to you.
It was a talent that I had that I didn't know I had. I knew I had it, but I didn't know that I had it. So that sounds crazy. Mm-hmm. I knew I had the ability to talk to people, to make people feel comfortable. Mm-hmm. That was something that I've known for a long time. But I didn't know that it would be for radio and TV. I just thought it was one-on-one personal stuff. Yeah. But no. So at Mercer County Community College, big shout out to Mercer County, that was something in a television programming class that I was taking. We all had to do several parts. So everybody had to be a producer, behind the camera, a director, and in front of the camera. Well, all of my classmates kept saying, you need to host my show. You need to be the one that do. The guy did a magic show. I want you to host it. Then it was a talk show. And so I'm like, guys, I'm a fail because I haven't done anything else.
That's good.
So, yeah, well.
That's good because that's what gets you, because people keep telling me, like, to do this, just talk to people, get connections. So the fact that people are reaching out to you, and then you have this talent, but you don't know you have it. It allows you to display that by doing that.
Well, I still wanted to produce because I love to produce. I love being behind the scenes. Mm-hmm. I do. I like you, watching you, giving you tips, and even Jacque. And I had something sarcastic say, I'm going to be really nice, right? But I'm going to be a lovely person.
I was going to bring up your production skills.
Yeah,
we're going to get to that.
We're going to get to that because I was hot.
Next.
That was some good music right there.
That's next.
But God gave me the ability to look at people and see their talents, and then home in on it and help them skill it.
Right.
And so I'm grateful for that, and I love doing that. And at the same time, being in front of the camera is okay, because he gave me the gift, and I want to use it to my fullest, right? Just like in the Bible, they tell you get the talents, you don't use them, you lose them. Right. So I need to use them. I just like to use them all.
Right. Which is, I feel, good for people just like me, because you're kind of in my shoes, and I feel it's good because now that I'm here every week and have both of you, I can use that to my advantage by simply just doing this every single week. Even if I'm not on air, just talking to you and then being able to use those skills and eventually, hopefully, grow to do this. That's
well, exactly. I'm going to watch you, and I told you that now. Now you're my little heart, and just like I did with quite a few people, like the whole swag group. I'm paying attention because it is in the gospel choir at Trenton High. I pay attention and I love seeing you guys grow and shine. And as long as I have a little part of that, that makes me feel good.
Yeah, and for me, being the youngest of 7 children and growing up near my great aunt and my grandparents, my maternal grandparents, there were so many people around that, as a young person, you you observe,
Yeah, people
and you
look
pay
up to,
attention.
yeah.
And I had a lot of people who, now that I'm older, were mentors and who were very influential in making me into the person, or helping me to hone the skills to be the person that I am today. So a big shout out, big shout out.
We're going to talk
to all of them, and for me, I really love human beings. Like, I love hearing them express themselves, letting me know a little bit about who they are when they're candid with me. To me, that's just very important, and I honor and respect those privileges. And for me, that's it. I mean, it's almost like it's something inside of me that I have to listen to what people are saying.
Right. But that is a good part about Jacque, because he will make a homeless person feel like they are on top of the world and important. And that is a good trait to have. When Maggie first approached him with doing Trenton 365 every week, one of the things she said was he brings on different art stuff. Now, some of it I might think is boring, right? Because I'm like, was that art? And when he'll tell me at the beginning, this is it, and I'm like, let me listen, because how is he gonna make this connection? He can't possibly.
But he does it.
But he does
and
it.
that's what makes Jacque.
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 Jacque. That's how you, because you can't say his name normal. It's Jacque.
Jacque.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's because you're not normal.
I was just going to say, is she giving me a compliment? Should I give her a hug and a kiss?
Nah.
But no, literally, the next thing.
Can't wait for losing with Vennie.
I'm just going to sit here and be quiet.
You do this every week, so I'm gonna do it. I want you guys to give your social. You say them at the top of your show, but your socials, so anybody that wants to follow you too, and so that way people can start spamming you guys with hashtag Jacque and Vennie Show, because I want that to happen. But go ahead and share your socials wherever people can contact you.
Well, am I on Facebook? I'm on Facebook and
yes, you are on Facebook.
Yes, I am on and Instagram, right? And it's my name, Edvina, EDVEINA, Vennie Stansbury. So I did that a whole 8 years ago, because I didn't want people to find me, but I realized I had to be on Facebook for the job. I was like. So I made it difficult, right? So it's Vennie Edvina, but even if you Google Vennie, it'll pop up. Stansbury, that's on Facebook and Instagram. Yes, and we're going to talk about my Facebook. I am on Facebook.
We're getting there. Go ahead, Jacque, share yours.
Yes, so the best way to find me is any social media. It's Trenton 365, and that's the numbers. You can also post your events to the
Trenton numbers.
Go ahead.
Trenton, the city. The numbers 365, and that's on Twitter and Instagram, and then on Facebook it's Trenton 365 Show. And if you'd like to post your events to the Trenton 365 community calendar page, you can do that as well.
All right, so I'm gonna go back to Vennie's Facebook. So last Friday, I don't know how many viewers are friends with Vennie on Facebook. I was scrolling down my Facebook feed and I see Vennie is live, or was live, and the caption said, what was it? My debut and my world premiere of my new song. She did that, so I was like, all right, let me see what Auntie Vennie's up to. So I went and clicked on it. Vennie's in the other room, and Vennie's like, all right, guys, I'm getting ready to premiere my new song, and I'm so upset that we cannot play right now. But the song is not She Did That. She did that.
Yes.
I want you to explain that song.
Okay.
Just explain it.
So here it is. I have 2 singles. My old new single is Get Your Life,
Your
Yo.
old new single.
Yeah, it's called Old New Single. Because it's not, you got to say it like that.
The old new single.
Old new single.
Got you.
And it's called, you got to have your fingers, 2 fingers down, because it's all about being a rapper.
Right, she told me this
So your
earlier.
middle finger's down and your pointy finger and your thumb up.
Got you.
Get your life, yo, get your life, because you got to move with that beat.
Right.
Right, so I did that acapella with no music, okay?
And that's not a place in the Caribbean or anything like that.
No, it's just me freestyling because I am a rapper. And I'm going to win a Grammy.
Right.
I'm going to win a Grammy. So anyway, The next single, the follow-up single was She Did That.
Right, which came out Friday.
Right, with music and everything.
Yeah.
You see, and it's She Did That. Yeah,
I listened to it, and Jacque listened to it earlier, and you did something.
I did.
You did something.
I did it 10 minutes before it was time for my Totally Useless Facts. I wrote it, produced it, directed, mastered it, all right here.
More like Totally Useless music.
It was the bomb.
Coming from somebody who's musically inclined, the song is catchy. I don't know the video. There's the song itself, and then there's the video. Because in the video, you're singing it, and then Jacque said you're in the chair dancing. You're like, she did that.
Yes.
And then
who? And you gotta say did it. Yeah, she did that. Just like that.
All right. Who walked in the? Who
Hassan, Mr. Root.
Okay, he walked in. Did not look amused at all.
He was so mortified because he couldn't believe I did.
Has anybody checked on him to see if he even survived?
Yeah. Walked in and then it was just like, why did you do that? And Jacque and I were talking, and Jacque, I and Hassan, we're gonna make a video called "Why She Did That," because it needs to.
Because look, let me tell y'all.
Oh boy.
As being a rapper, you got to get stuff in your head. So it's like, you see Jacque head? This is why it's so big. Because he got a lot of stuff in it, right? And so I had to get it in it was in my spirits. The spirits.
Acapulco spirits.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Hello, boom. Gotcha. You are really a rapper now. See, you got it.
Word.
What is it?
What? You gotta say it twice.
You got to, because to be a rapper, you must say what twice. Yeah, and I said it, and I dropped the mic, but I didn't really want to drop the mic.
She dabbed too.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. Got it. Boom. Now I'm a real rapper and dancer. Yeah, I'm an indie rapper now, and because I dabbed, I'm a choreographer. There it is. Yeah.
On that note, we're running out of time. I was going to say, like I said, a big thank you for offering me this opportunity. Jacque, anything... No, I want to say, I want to do this again. Advice and reviews and thoughts on this. Okay. On me just doing this right now.
Sure, absolutely. Yes. And I'll tell you that you have a natural flow to yourself. I mean, I think that you're probably going to look great on camera.
Yes.
I think that you speak clearly, loudly. Everything's spot on. I'm excited to even spend some time with you this year. I think you're going to do fantastic, and everything that I have, I'm going to be pouring into you. As I told you, as I told you, I'm going to set very clear bookends, but within those bookends, I want you to be as creative as possible, and I want you to experience this so that this is a springboard for what you do next.
I will say this, Vont. I went on your YouTube page, and unlike my debut, I do. I stalk everybody, especially my little ones. That's right. And okay, I was gonna say something else, but all men beware. I do stalk, but nevertheless, I went on your YouTube page, and you are very, very talented.
Thank you.
Right? You did that. Where I did that, you did that. Gotcha. And
should we be signing off now? We should be signing off.
I'm very, very proud of you.
Thank you. You guys, I'm going to...
You can do an advice. Ask the parents.
Do what?
Your segment could be Ask the Parents, because he's so old. He has all the advice you need.
Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to let Jacque sign off, because... I'm going to let you go ahead.
Sure. So you've been listening and watching the Trenton 365 show every Tuesday from approximately 8 to 9 p.m. You can send me an email, Trenton365show@gmail.com, and follow us on social media platforms, WIMG 1300 and Trenton 365.